Hello friends, welcome back to the part 5 of Oracle HTTP OHS server. In this short video, we will see how we can change the node manager port for your OHS server, which is configured in standalone domain. So what happens is that when we install the OHS in standalone mode, okay, or you can say in the standalone domain, okay, so by default, your node manager run on the port 5556 and your OHS is also listened by default on the port 5556. Okay, so you have the liberty to change your configuration of node manager from 5556 to some other port in the node manager configuration file. Okay, but corresponding if you want to change your OHS port as well. Okay, because your OHS start and stop with the help of node manager, and by default your node manager run on 5556 and your OHS domain is listen on the 5556 port. So if you will change the node manager port only, then your OHS will not start, but because that will look for the node manager which is running on port 5556. So if you are changing the port of node manager, you have to change the corresponding port of your OHS as well. So for changing the OHS port is bit tricky. That for that you have to update the config.xml file for OHS configuration once you will update your node manager port. So we will see that how we can change that one in this video. This video is again specifically on demand, and it is demanded by Shubham Pandey. Okay, now when we talk about standalone OHS and node manager, so by default node manager run on port 5556, and by default standalone OHS listen for node manager port 5556. So every time you will start or stop your node OHS component, it will look for a node manager which is running on port 5556. So now what if we have changed node manager port? How we are going to ask your OHS here that, okay, you were listening for 556, but now I have changed the port of node manager, so you have to listen for the new port, right? So if you will try to start, okay, by just changing the node manager's port and without asking OHS to look for the different port, okay, you will see an exception in the log file, or even when you will go to start your OHS component, that connection refused, connect, could not connect to node manager, check that it is running at location, this IP address, and this is the port 5556. So this is the error you will see on the screen when you will change only the node manager password without changing the password of OHS, or without prompting the OHS that I have changed my node manager password. Okay, so how we can do that? First, you have to change your node manager port in node manager.properties file, which would be inside your domain, and then node manager folder, which is also called a node manager home. Okay, update the file, this file, and change listen port from 5556 to 5560 that I have changed in my case. Okay, now after that one, take the backup of config.xml file, which will be inside your domain and config folder. Okay, and edit your config.xml file after taking the backup. Okay, and you have to add a new tag, okay, with the value 5560. Okay, and the tag would be listen hyphen port. Okay, so this tag you have to add in your existing configuration, where you will see the configuration of your machine. As you can see on the screen, this is the existing one, and when we will change, or we can say when we will add this tag to my machine tag, okay, and after that you have to restart your OHS. So once you will restart your OHS, then you have a liberty, you can change your OHS port anytime on the config.xml once you will add this particular tag. And now here, because I have changed my node manager port from 556 to 5560, and I have updated my configuration file to say to my OHS that, okay, this is the new port that you have to look for instead of the default port 555 and 6. So this is the way of changing the port for your OHS standalone mode, and stay tuned for a few more interesting videos.